right.
What's a movie that's inspired you?
I think there are a lot of movies that have inspired me. But I think my favorite of all time would be Star Wars, because Star Wars, like, everyone likes Star Wars, and I think Star Wars is what really got me into filmmaking. It's the, like, first movie that I was like, wow, like, this is really cool. How did they do that? Like, that might be something I want to do.
Are there any producers that have inspired you, or directors?
Directors, like, a few, like, unrecognized directors. Some, like, well, there's a guy named Alejandro G. Inarritu, and he's won the Oscar for Best Director the past 2 or 3 years, I think. And his films are really cool, and they're all kind of different from each other. And I think, like, that level of, like, variety, I think that's something really cool, and something that kind of inspires me. But there's also a YouTuber named Casey Neistat, and he makes these little short films, and that's also one of the main things that got me into filmmaking. And they're really cool, and they're such a unique and different style to, like, him specifically.
So what's it like being so involved in the swim team at New Canaan High School and in your filming passion?
Well, it certainly takes a lot of time management skills. Swimming is like an all-time thing. It's like I go to school in the morning and I spend my whole day at school, and then right after I go to swimming, and I don't get home until like 6:30ish. And so and especially with homework, it's hard to fit filmmaking in as a hobby, but I definitely try to make time for it on the weekends and anytime I have free time, basically.
So what are some things that you've done for filming, like classes or programs?
Well, the first, like, program I've done was a week-long course at the New York Film Academy. I think 2 years ago now, going into my freshman year, and that's what really, like, kickstarted my interest in directing and filmmaking and everything. But then I decided to take the narrative film course at the New Canaan High School, and then I took the documentary filmmaking course, and this past semester I took TV1, and now I'm taking 3D animation, which is a separate kind of filmmaking, which is cool.
And are there any jobs or places that you want to take your filmmaking, or that you've done?
Well, I had an internship this past summer at a company owned by Jay-Z called Rock Nation, and I basically helped them, their film division, shoot interviews and do their own films, and that was really cool because it was, like, hands-on with a bunch of different expensive equipment and learning how to actually produce films and direct them and see how directors and actors interact with each other, and I made a lot of valuable connections through that, which was cool.
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about the screenwrite that you've written for screenplay movie that you've written?
Okay. Well, basically I spent the past year researching and writing a screenplay about schizophrenia. It's called Real, and it's basically this teenage kid who and his very wealthy family who crash on an island after their private jet crashes on an island, and it's about their struggle to survive and his kind of struggle to find reality, and the whole thing is kind of a metaphor for schizophrenia, and I hope that I expect it to kind of raise awareness as to what the full extent of schizophrenia can be, and so that people don't have to spend 6 months like I did researching just to have, like, a full understanding of the disease.
So can you talk a little bit about your inspiration for the movie?
Well, my inspiration actually takes root in a pretty weird kind of thing. There's this TV show that's kind of stupid. It's a little animated adult show called Rick and Morty, and it's stupid and it's funny, and it's basically this deranged mad scientist grandfather and his grandson and their adventures. And there was one episode where they had to deal with these parasites that had invaded like their people's brains, and how they were implanting memories in their heads. And I thought that was a really cool concept, and I looked it up, and that's what really got me involved in the research of schizophrenia.
So where do you hope to take this film?
This film, I hope to actually make it first, and I plan to do that this summer. And when that's done, I'm gonna try to send it into a few film festivals and spread it around, and maybe it will get picked up, or maybe I'll put it on YouTube. Maybe I'll sell it to like somewhere. I don't know. I mean, I think the possibilities are kind of limitless at this point.
So where do you want to go with filmmaking in general?
Filmmaking is something I'm really, really passionate about, and I think that it's something I really want to continue in my life and pursue as a career. And so I will definitely go to a college for filmmaking and definitely study that or major in it, and try to continue being all of these different aspects in my career, like a director, producer, writer, editor. I love it all so much, and it's really interesting, and it's definitely something I want to continue with. All right, well, it basically started with this. I did a bunch of research on schizophrenia, and I compiled it into this one plot. And so there are all these different aspects of a plot here, and I wrote it all out, and I did all this stuff with it. And then after that, I figured out, like, what will I need to make this film the best that it can be. And so I put together this budget, essentially, that came out to around $4,000. And so that would help me kickstart the film. And here's my little scheduling board to do, work in progress, done.
And how can people help you with the funding?
I have a Kickstarter on Kickstarter.com. You can look up Real or Richard Oehmler. And over here, just some notes for myself and a little scheduling board, some concept art to really help me visualize what the film will look like.
Okay, so can you take us through the process of your filming?
Okay, well, basically it all starts with an idea and something that I want to share and a story that I want to tell. And so the way I go about that is I usually draft my ideas down on like a whiteboard, and I'll keep the ideas there to help me kind of build it out and get my ideas down on paper. And so after that, I usually create like a little Bible like this, or quote unquote Bible. And so this is for my most recent one, the one that I'm working on now about schizophrenia. So it basically has an introduction, something about the characters, a little plot overview, and an analysis, and then a plan for it, so that I can just basically keep my thoughts organized and show it to anyone who's interested or wants to read about it. After that, I use this program called Celtics to make a script, and it makes it like a professional, real script, so that I don't have to like hand make it myself and do all the spacing correctly. And then after that, I basically go and shoot. And so this is the camera that I use now. It's a DSLR, and it has a Rode microphone attached to it. And so basically it shoots video and it takes pictures like any other camera. The lens comes undone if you want to switch the lens. This is a slate, and this you use for synchronizing audio and video. So the clap helps the audio person and the video person know where the clips start and where you can put them together. And so basically this helps me know as I'm watching the video where or which take it was and which one to use, essentially. So these are all my different cameras. This was my first camera. It's a little flip video camera, clearly hasn't been used in a while. My second video camera was this one. It's like the one you're using now. Then I got this GoPro, and this is what really made me passionate about filmmaking. I made my first like real film on here. After that, I got this, which is basically a much smaller version of this DSLR. And this is by far the coolest thing that I own. It's a 360 degree camera, and so you can take pictures or video on here, and so there's a lens on both sides. So this is virtual reality, and so there are more expensive versions. I have an Oculus Rift in there too, but this is the most like easy way to do virtual reality, and you basically stick your phone in there. You can just look around in here and see. And that's what this camera allows me to do, and it makes videos for that, which is really cool. I also have like a lighting setup and a green screen that I can take pictures on or take videos on to help me create a scene or a location that I can't actually go to.
What do you want to do for real? Where do you want to shoot that?
Oh, well, because it takes place on an island, I need a beach location, so Todd's Point in Greenwich, I've gone there a few times to scout out the location, and I've taken pictures so that I know which scenes will take place where, and for more complex scenes that need a lot more room in forest area, I can use Waveney Park, and they both take permits to shoot there though, so I've had to file them, and I have to pay like a fee to film there, which I factored into my budget too.